Oh my gosh, I was such a loser. Hey guys, it's Bob Ferngren and I'm back. And my heart, my desire, my prayer really is to help folks who are getting near 50 or in their 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s really live the best life, a life way over and above. Think about winning the second half of your life, how great that is. So, yeah, I was a loser. I was a loser. I made mistakes, in my first marriage. I made mistakes not being there for my kids. Huge mistakes. Praise God it worked out, but that was a loser, putting myself ahead of them, rationalizing that, working all the time and I was making money and I was paying the bills, Well, I can tell you people are more important than money. And so I don't have regrets. God has forgiven me. But wow, what a loser I was. I was such a loser when I was $350,000 in debt. What a loser. What a terrible role model. What a loser I was, allowing debt to control my life. Think about what that did to me, what that did to others, how it affected my family. What a loser I was. Ooh, filthy loser. I was 40 pounds overweight. I was heading towards being a burden on society. What a loser. What a loser for not paying attention to my health. What a loser for not paying attention to my finances. What a loser for not paying attention to my relationships. And that's the truth. You have to face the truth about how selfish you are. I was selfish. What a loser you are. I didn't want to be a loser. I always thought of myself as a winner. I'm the president of this company. Everyone thinks I'm wonderful crap. The only people that really tend to matter are your loved ones and who thinks you're wonderful or not, right? So here's my point to you. If you're overweight, if you're not taking care of your health, if you're not doing basic things, if you haven't gotten your brain out of the garbage can and stop eating processed foods and feeding that to your children, if you haven't figured out that cooking home meals is better than eating in McDonald's or some fast food place every day, if you don't change those things, you have to label yourself properly. You're a loser. Now, there could be extenuating circumstances and excuses and all that, but the truth is, we in America tend to get everything we want. That's just the way it is. Like, you figure it out. There are people who are deeply in debt, fat as a tick, horrible in their relationships, yet they can afford lots of beer, they can afford lots of streaming services, they can afford lots of weed. They somehow get what they want. I can tell you that from personal experience, it works the same way on the other side. I didn't finish college. I didn't know anything about health. I was crappy in relationships, but I decided to stop being a loser. I just decided I was a loser and I was selfish. I was completely selfish for not paying the things that I can do, that I can control. I can control my finances. I can manage my budget and spend less than I earn. I eventually did that. That was one of the first stepping stones to becoming a millionaire. Spend less than I earned. And I did that. And I did other things that I've shared with you in other videos, and I'll share again with you in future videos. But 40 pounds overweight, I would have ended up, a burden, in my mind, a burden to society, costing more in insurance, a horrible role model for my children. What a loser that is, to be carrying all that extra body fat. Gee, many, especially in today's society, there are things you can do. And look, there are some diseases maybe you can't avoid, but most diseases are self-inflicted. It's the stuff you are and aren't putting in your mouth. It's whether you move your body. Do you drink enough water? Do you stay away from fast food places? And have you gotten rid of processed foods? Those things in boxes. You control that. But again, just like I said about the loser that has no money, they can still find money for their drugs, for their streaming services, and their beer. How does that work? Because we tend to get what we want. We tend to get what we want. You can start putting your family first, putting your spouse first, your children after your spouse. You can start going back to church. You can do things that get you out of the L column and into the W column. That's really the truth. And they're small steps. You start small. You walk. You spend less than you earn. You tell your spouse you love and respect them every day. You can't control your spouse, but you can control yourself. And everything starts getting better. Everything starts getting better. Or you can check out of here as a loser. Like, yeah, a few people show up to your funeral. Well, nobody really cares. Or you can check out like a winner, where you are esteemed, where you have a legacy, where people think good thoughts about you. The truth is really, and I am telling you the truth, whoever is hearing this and whenever you hear it, make the choice to be a winner, because God made you a winner. So why not the second half of your life win, win, win? Hey, God bless. Have a great day.